What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a hero deck profile. So I'm really excited for you guys because we finally got a hero lives back to 3 on the last list, which helps out this deck a lot to be even more consistent than it already is, which is just absolutely amazing. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron, along with test hands. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing the single best hero ever created, and that's going to be 3 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos. This card is a great card because it has the ability that when this card is normal or special summon, you can activate one of these effects to either destroy spells and traps on the field up to the number of hero monsters that you control except this card, or the effect that you're always going to activate on this card to add any hero monster from your deck to your hand, which is an insane effect that this card can literally search you any of your combo pieces. We then play 2 copies of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Elemental Hero Shadow Mist is a great 2-of that has the ability, if it's special summoned, you can add a change quick play spell from your deck to your hand, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, then you can add a hero monster from your deck to your hand except another copy of this card, and you can only use one effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. This card is a great card to combo with Vision Hero Vion to send it to the graveyard to get you a search, and also set up the Vion to banish this card to be able to search a polymerization, so you can go in for all sorts of different plays. We then play a single copy of Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. This card is great in the deck because it has the ability, if this card is used as a fusion material for a hero monster and is sent to the graveyard or banished, you can draw 2 cards and then discard a card to help you get even more combo pieces. We then play a single copy of Elemental Hero Honest Neos. This card is a great hand trap for the deck. It has the ability that if one of your hero monsters is involved in a battle, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to be able to boost your hero monster's attack points up by 2,500, which is a great effect to help you get over all sorts of really big monsters or go in for game. We then play a single copy of Destiny Hero Plasma. Destiny Hero Plasma is a great card that's basically a one-sided skill drain and a relinquish tied into one that has the ability this card cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from your hand by tributing 3 monsters that you control and cannot be special summoned by other ways. And it negates the effects of all face-up effect monsters that your opponent controls, and then once per turn, you can target a monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card, and this card gains attack equal to half the attack of the equipped monster, but you can only equip 1 monster to this card at a time, which is totally fine because usually you're going to gobble up their boss monster and then go in for game. We then play a single copy of Destiny Hero Denier. Destiny Hero Denier is a good 1-of because it has the ability that if it's normal or special summon, you can take one of your Destiny Hero monsters from your deck, graveyard, or that's banished and place it on top of your deck. And you can only use that effect once per turn. And if you have a Destiny Hero monster on your field or in your graveyard other than Destiny Hero Denier, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but you can only use that effect once per duel. We then play 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious, which combos very well with Denier because you can use Denier to actually get your banished copy of Malicious back into the top of the deck so that you can use the Malicious in graveyard again to be able to summon out that copy of Malicious to your side of the field, which is a really good effect because your copy of Malicious has the ability that you can banish it from the graveyard to then special summon a copy of Malicious from the deck, which is a really awesome effect to help you link climb or go into all sorts of different fusion plays by giving you an additional material. We then play 3 copies of Vision Hero Ferris. Vision Hero Ferris is a great 3-of in the deck. It has the ability you can discard one other hero monster to special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is normal or special summon, then you can place a Vision Hero monster from your deck, except another copy of this card in your spell and trap card zone as a face-up continuous trap card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except hero monsters, and you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. This card is a great 3-of as a starter or a combo piece to help your plays get rolling and really get you where you need to go, because this card will put your copies of Vision Hero Increase as a continuous trap card in your spell and trap card zone. That Vision Hero Increase can then tribute your copy of Vision Hero Ferris to special summon itself to your side of the field, and then it will also special summon from the deck your copies of Vision Hero Vion, which is a really good combo piece to be able to put Vision Hero Vion on your side of the field with Vision Hero Increase, because Vision Hero Vion is a walking Foolish Burial when it's normal or special summon, sending your copies of your Shadow Mist to the graveyard to get you a search, which is a really good effect. It also has the ability that once per turn, you can banish a hero monster from your graveyard to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to grab poly so you can go in for all sorts of different fusion plays. We then play a single copy of Evil Hero Adusted Gold. Adusted Gold is a great card in the deck because it lets you discard this card from your hand to the graveyard to add Dark Calling from your deck to your hand so you can go in for your copy of Evil Hero Malicious Bane. We then play for the last 3 monsters 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just a really good card overall to be able to use against the opponent to stop them from searching the deck or using anything that's in the deck, which is really good. This card has the ability that when an effect is activated that includes any of these effects, quick effects, you can discard this card to negate that effect. Adding a card from deck to hand, special summoning from deck, or sending a card from deck to graveyard, which is really, really good. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Reinforcements of the Army, so we can grab any of our hero monsters that we want that are level 4 or lower from our deck to our hand. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good so we don't get hand trapped in this deck while we're going in for all of our plays. We then play a single copy of Harpy's Feather Duster just so we don't have to worry about back row cards like Skill Drain and stuff like that. We can get rid of them with Harpy's Feather Duster. We then play a single copy of Polymerization because it's searchable off of our copy of Vision Hero Vion, so we can go in for a copy of Elemental Hero Sunriser to go in for all sorts of crazy plays. We then play a single copy of Miracle Fusion because it's searchable off of our Elemental Hero Sunriser, which is just a great card to be able to play in the deck, to be able to use this card by banishing the materials from the graveyard to summon out an Elemental Hero Fusion monster. We then play a single copy of Dark Calling because we can search this card with the Dusted Gold, so we can go in for Malicious Bane, which is a crazy powerful boss monster. We then play 2 copies of Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny is an insanely powerful card. It's just a really good card overall in this deck because it lets you fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck that lists a Destiny hero monster as a material using monsters from your hand or deck as fusion materials, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except for dark hero monsters, which is not that big of a deal because the majority of the time in this deck we're only summoning dark hero monsters anyways. We then play 3 copies of A Hero Lives, which is finally back at 3, and it just helps out this deck a lot. If you don't control a monster, you can pay half your life points to special summon out a level 4 or lower Elemental Hero monster from your deck, which is usually going to be your copies of Elemental Hero Stratos, to then get you another search and get your plays rolling without even using up your normal summon. This card is also really good to bait out Ash Blossom, so then you can normal summon out the Stratos that you have in hand to go in for even more plays. We then play 3 copies of Mass Change. Mass Change lets you use the ability that you can target a hero monster that you control and send to the graveyard. Also, after that, if it left the field by this effect, you can special summon a masked hero monster from your extract with the same attribute as that sent monster had when it was on the field. Its original attribute if face down, which is a really cool thing to help us go in for cards like Masked Hero Dark Law, which is just a crazy powerful boss monster, or even Masked Hero Acid. We then play 3 copies of Regeki. Regeki is really good in the deck because heroes go in for insane boards to help you OTK, and Regeki can basically just board wipe all your opponent's monsters so you can go in for game. I'm really liking teching in Regeki in this deck, and it's helped out a lot and won me a lot of games. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3 traps in the deck, and that is going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, which is just a great hand trap in the deck. It lets you target a monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. And if this card was set before activation and is on the field at resolution for the rest of the turn, all their spells and traps in this card's column are negated. And if you don't control any cards, you can activate this card from your hand, which this deck is a very going second build for heroes, so this card is a great card in the deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Elemental Hero Sunriser. This card is a great card in the deck that just requires 2 hero monsters with different attributes to summon this card. And it must be fusion summoned, and monsters you control gain 200 attack for each different attribute that you control. And you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. That if this card is special summoned, you can add a Miracle Fusion from your deck to your hand. And when an attack is declared involving your hero monster that you control, you can target one card on the field and destroy it, which is a crazy powerful effect. We then play a single copy of Absolute Zero, which is a great card that has the ability that must be fusion summoned and gains 500 attack for each water monster on the field except this card. And if this card leaves the field, you destroy all monsters that your opponent controls, which is a great effect to be able to use this card with Mass Change to tag it out for your copy of Masked Hero Acid to be able to completely board wipe the opponent. We then play 2 copies of Masked Hero Dark Law. This card is a crazy powerful boss monster that has the ability it must be special summoned with a mass change and cannot be special summoned by other ways. And any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead, being a one-sided macrocosmos. It also has the ability that once per turn, if your opponent adds cards from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase or damage step, you can banish a random card from your opponent's hand, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Masked Hero Acid. Masked Hero Acid is really good because if it's summoned to your side of the field, you destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls, and if you do, all monsters they control lose 300 attack points, which is a really good effect, especially when you use Mass Change with your copy of Ab-Zero to be able to tag out your copy of Ab-Zero to destroy all monsters and then all spells and traps, which is a very old school hero play. We then play a single copy of Divined Wind, which is the final Masked Hero I'm playing in the deck. It's just a really good wind target to work with your copies of Stratos that has the ability that when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can draw a card, which is a really good effect. It also cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent can attack with only one monster during each battle phase, which is really good for this deck. We then play a single copy of Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, which is a really powerful card still to this day, with Anaconda currently at 0. Especially in this deck because it has the ability that monsters your opponent controls lose 200 attack for each hero monster in your graveyard, which is a powerful effect. And then once per turn, you can destroy a card on your field and a card on your opponent's field, which is a crazy awesome effect. And it also brings itself back during the next standby phase after this card is destroyed, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Destiny Hero Dystopia because it's just a good one-of in the deck to be able to use with Fusion Destiny, and it just takes 2 Destiny Hero monsters to summon this card. We then play a single copy of Destiny Hero Dangerous because it's a good one-of in the deck that has the ability that basically at Foolish Burials, by discarding a card, you can send a Destiny Hero monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. And if you do, Destiny Hero monsters that you control gain 200 attack for each Destiny Hero monster in your graveyard until the end of this turn, which can make your copy of Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer even bigger. We then play a single copy of Evil Hero Malicious Bane, which is my favorite hero in the entire game. It has the ability it takes a evil hero monster plus a level 5 or higher monster, which is really easy to do in this deck. And it has the ability it must be special summoned with Dark Fusion and cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. And then during the main phase, you can destroy all monsters that your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card. Also, this card gains 200 attack for each monster destroyed this way. Also, you cannot declare attacks with monsters for the rest of the turn except for hero monsters, and you can only use each effectless card once per turn. This card is insanely powerful, super easy to summon, and combos extremely well with the effect of your Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, because this card will drop the attack points of your opponent's monster, and then this will essentially Regeki your opponent, which is really good, especially comboing it with cards like Regeki in the deck to give you all sorts of different board wipes for the opponent. We then play a single copy of Vision Hero Trinity, because when it's summoned, it doubles its attack, and it can attack 3 times during each battle phase, which is just really cool, and just a really good monster to help you go in for game. One copy of Dread Decimator. Dread Decimator is just a really good link monster. It has the ability that this card, and also any hero monster it points to, gains 100 attack for each hero monster with different names in your graveyard, and if this card attacks a defense position monster, it does piercing damage. We then play a single copy of Wonder Driver, because so you can get your copies of Poly back, which is really good for the deck, and then 2 copies of Extra Hero Cross Crusader, because it's just a really good card in the deck. If it's link summoned, you can target a Destiny Hero monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and then you contribute a Destiny Hero monster to add a hero monster with a different name from your deck to your hand, which is a great combo piece for the deck. So that's it for this one, guys. I really love Heroes. If you guys didn't know, this deck is just super fun to be able to play. And if you guys have never played Heroes before, I highly recommend it. It's super fun to be able to combo off and go into all sorts of different hero monsters, even Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, and all of the old school elemental hero monsters, especially Stratos just being such a cool card. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can come part of Notification Squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.